Hello, it's Keith from Kinvert. So this might be a part one. I don't know how much I'm going to get done. I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff. But basically, I want to take my Artillery3D and get it to shoot at accelerating drones. Right now, they're just constant velocity. And so you'll watch it live and see how much I mess up. So here we go. Um, what I'm going to do first is add in a an argument that we pass in here. And so I'll put it up here where I have some of the main settings, and I'll just call it acceleration is 0, and move forward with that. So binding, and there's debug. I'll just put it next to this, and this is acceleration. So yeah, the binding.c is what gets this between the Python and the C. And then up here somewhere, where's my debug? So like that. And then here, doing 0 for now. Oh, wait, was there? I think that's the only place I got to put it in this one. And then in Pi, I got to put it in like twice. I hate working on this little 1080 screen. Let's see. Where's debug? Am I just blind? There we go. And sorry, I'm a little bit sick. Oh, see, this mouse just double clicks when it feels like it. Logitech. I can hear my baby waking up too, so just be aware. Could be some noise issues. All right, so now theoretically acceleration is in here. And so now what I want to do is basically I've just got Vx, Vy, so env Vx. And so basically right now, okay, so that's just where I'm calculating the distance, that's updating. This is where I'm going to do it. So I want to think of a reasonable timing, like a period or whatever for the. So I'm just at first going to set it to like a sine wave, where it's just flying like that. Right now I've just got the initial velocity and everything, and I'll just use magic numbers at first. Well, first let's just make sure things build, you know. So that's kind of off screen here, but whatever. So I'm going to build the Python version and the C version here. The C version will compile quick, no problems. And then it should just still run. So I'll just show. Sometimes it runs worse in C, like it shot way ahead. So I don't really know what that's about. I might not have updated the model. But yeah, it doesn't shoot as well in C sometimes. Like that looks, oh, that got it. See, shot twice. But anyway, so it built, still building the Python here. There we go. And yeah, it should be fine. So now, what I want to do, so px x0 plus this. So really what we're going to do is change the x and y. So these are the initial vx, vy, but really I need vx, vy, vz. I'll just keep vz constant, I guess, for now, and just have it turning in x and y. And so now I'm pretty sure I will have an env vx and vy up here without just the 0. Just double check. There's the initials, tx, and then target. VX. Oh, so TX VX, that was for the projectile. So really what I care about is target VX, like this. And then currently it's for multiple drones. So this would end up getting, let's see. I might need, so I'll just add some new in here. So we got float, and then target VX, float target VY, and float target VZ. And then I'll just do it this way instead of messing with all this multi-drone stuff right off the bat. Because this will reduce the observations but increase the complexity of what it's doing, rather than doing all at the same time. And then, so yeah, target VX. So the number of targets, that's in calculate distance. Get random start. I'll just have, for now, just the same and not randomize, but then in the future I'll randomize the like the amplitude more or less in the period. Target VX out. Okay, that's just zeroing it out. Here is where it's calculating position. Okay, so now I'm going to have, oh, this is going to be a bunch of nested ifs, isn't it? TX, TY, TZ. I'm just going to go with if, env, ac, 0, okay, something like that. And then I'll just do else, and then take this, and then let's see. So we're going to have like an angle, and that angle will change over time. And then we're going to, well, I could just do it with sine and cosine instead of even bothering really with the angle. That seems maybe like the easier way to do it, because I'm just adding the position, because the TX is the target X, TY is target Y, that's just position. So now I'm just going to try, instead of this VX, right, that's not what I'm doing. Now I'm doing target VX, but I might not even need target VX, right, because I can just take an initial velocity. I was going with like 80 meters per second, and then I'll fix this later to be randomized. So that times, I think it's just cosine in here, and then what we're going to have is the we basically need the period here of where it's going. So we're going to have, because I have like env I, and then times. And so let me think of how many steps. So right now this is like 10 frames per second, or I think I have set, it's not in here, set target, FPS, where's the, oh, it was an underscore. So 30 frames per second, 1,000, 1,000. So I'll go with like a 60th, and that's going to be, so let's find back the, what's the easiest way to find that back? Because there's multiple cosines going on. Oh, it just happened to find it. That times like 1/60th is going to be like 0.0167, repeating, of course, right? So times time step. TX plus equals, because this is getting me the velocity. So yeah, it's going to be like this. And then same sanity checks. And then in here, I'm going to do if that is less than 0. Oh, that's where I'm doing the bounce. Env TY. Okay, so this is going to be, again, that kind of ugly nested for loop thing here for now, and then I'll fix it later. So something like this. Okay, and then else, and then just grab this. So, and then 80, and then this will just be sign. And then I can just see if it's drawing it properly at first, because I'm just drawing this in RayLib. So let's first, and it'll just miss it first, but at least I'll be able to see how it flies. Okay, so I'm still drawing off of the old target VX, VY. So what I need to do is change how I'm drawing this in C render. This is using RayLib. So draw sphere, num targets. So this is where it's happening. Vector TX, TY, TZ. This is going off the multiple drones. Let's see, so MTXI is this. So for now it'll still be sending in the same two arguments, and I'll just change them this way, but I think this should work the way it is. So now what I'm going to do is change acceleration to 1, and then run this. And then I'll show you guys what it's looking like. I don't know what the heck happened there. There we go. So they don't seem to be visibly turning. So part of that could be because I started it with VX, VY, so let's double check the way that they're drawn and just make sure that I'm looking at it properly. VX, VY, so that's the projectile, right? XYZ, time step fuse, projectile active, that's where it's drawing the, and then the targets, MTX. So I thought I was setting that. So let me think of what else might be going wrong here. I've got my environment, TX. It's probably something simple, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm just stupid. It should be getting in there. 20 times it's in here. Let's see. So yeah, freeing it. Calculate distance. It is going to calculate distance wrong at first because this is just set to basically 0 acceleration, and so I can just easily calculate ahead where it's at, and I can still calculate ahead where it is on the sine cosine. You know, I just don't have it in yet. Observations, yep. NTX, so that's where I'm randomizing everything, and then sanity checking the numbers. This is where I'm drawing it. And it's drawing right off MTX, which I want. That's just allocating. This is where, if they're dead, I just put them off to the side. Num targets. Okay, if NAC equals 0, and I've just got it. Did I take in acceleration here? I might have forgotten. So where's debug? Just double check. Debug in. Okay, so that's what I want. And then acceleration here, the dot C, acceleration 0. Let's do this. I don't think it should matter much. And then it was here, do 1, because I'm setting it in through the ini. Okay, if NAC is 0, do the old, else TXI plus equals And so, yeah, because 80 is just the current speed times the cosine of n of I. So I don't know if I need to change. I mean, it seems like, oh, it's not n of I, it's n of tick. There we go. I need to count the ticks, not which environment I'm in. So that might have been it. Okay, that might have been it. So n of I, I'm just launching multiple m's, and then I use that I to offset the SRAND. It'll miss now. The goal is to see if these, yeah, it visibly accelerated, not by a ton. It's not too obvious. Let's see if, oh, they're not close enough to, let's see. So it's moving, it's slowing down. Oh, see, now it's moving right. So it is working, right? It's working now. And so that definitely works. Now the question would be if I'm going to keep track, because I could be telling the drone, or not the drone, I could be telling the turret the acceleration if I want, because the acceleration is something that I can calculate since it's just sine cosine, right? And then I've also got to get it so I can, now I've got multiple choices, because right now I'm just giving it a sine cosine velocity, but I could also just have it kind of ride the rail and just go along on the sine cosine. I don't know what the best way to do it would be. I mean, obviously, if someone has a drone and they're trying to not get hit by shells, right, they're not going to just follow a predictable pattern. I mean, in reality, it's going to be pretty random, and they're just going to fly around like a mosquito or something to avoid being hit. But just for the purposes of this, I mean, really, I could just have it follow the sine cosine, just make it a function of just x, because it's shooting down x down the range, and then y is left, right, and z is up, down for this one. I could just set it to ride the rail, but also I don't know if it's accelerating enough. I mean, it seems like around enough, but I'd have to figure out if it's realistic, like how much do these FPV drones actually swerve around when they're doing this. Because right now most of this is guesses, right? The velocity of the shell is a guess. The velocity of the drones is kind of a guess, but I know it's in the ballpark of like 80 meters per second or something. Yeah, see how it visibly was not where it got hit? Because this is still trained on the old way. All right, so this tidy screen. 80 times cosine. So really it's just changing the velocity instead of directly changing the position, but I mean it works. You know, ultimately the drone isn't just instantly banging to places. I mean, it's accelerating. So then I would have this TX, and then I would have to update VX. So I think with minimal change, I could just say end VX, or no, target VX. Yes, target VX. And then just set it equal to this, right? Set it equal to that, and then this will be end target VX, right? Something like this. And then the observations, it'll theoretically be getting them. And then I could just set num targets to 1 to simplify this down. Seems reasonable enough to me in my head. So Vy, the sine, so m target Vy, makes sense to me, and then I just leave. Ooh, if it hits the side, it'll be goofy, but let's just hope that never happens. And so 80f times cosine times sine and tick times that. Yoink. N of tx, what the hell am I doing? There we go. That explains some of the goofiness, I guess. N of ty. Good enough for me, right? Okay, and then in here, where's my num targets? Target size. Num. Oh, I think I have it set up at define at the top. Num targets. So let's first run it as is, so I'm not making too many changes. So I built an error. Let's see. Env target times time step. Float. Ah, okay. Well, I'll just do this. Okay. I need an I here. Okay. So that was my fault. I forgot this is basically an array, whatever here. So because we have more than one target for now. So there we go. And now it ought to theoretically build. It built. Run it. It runs. Yep, see him turning around? Dang, okay. This is going to be a lot harder. Wait, is it flying in a friggin' circle now? Oh, no, yeah, they would be flying in a circle now. Okay. I just made them fly in circles. But it makes sense. I would have to, like, do the absolute value for x. That's what I would have to do. Right now, they're just flying in circles. But hey, that works. Okay. So now, what else do I need to do? Okay, in here I need to set number of targets just so it'll train reasonably, because this would be like maybe 20 minutes of training to get it to work, accelerating and all this. Max shots of 4. I don't hope it's going to need that many. This will help shorten down the episodes, so it might learn faster. It's a guess. So seems reasonable to me. All right, let's do this. So I got to build again. This'll take a minute. In the meantime, while it's building, I'll show a little bit of this. So this is Obsidian, and I have a knowledge base repo. And don't take this as ground truth. A lot of this is LLM slop. Most of it is. But what you'll see is just how these different things connect. This is really like for exploration. Oh, it's done building. So anyway, don't take that as ground truth. It's just to see how different topics connect and help you, like ransack, you know what I mean? This is related to SLAM. It's one of the ways to kind of find the key points that you want to look at and be able to map around. So let me get back to here, and now I'm going to do the train. So it'll train num targets 1. So this would take 10 minutes. So, and it's vec num workers. Okay, so this is going to be extra boring. So I'm going to set it back where it was so that it won't be vec num workers 4, num m's. Leave the hyperparameters the same. RNG, that's the big one there. And okay, so I'm going to look at the timing of this. This might take 10 minutes. And if it is, I'll probably just stop the video here, and because otherwise this will be too boring, I think. What? There we go. Come on. How is this? So slow. Steps first, what the heck? Did I do something stupid here? I didn't do 10. Num targets 1. Did I? Num m's. Num m's. Is my batch size stupid? Auto that 2048. Okay. Like I said, you're seeing this live. And that should not need a rebuild, it's just the INI file. What else would it be? Oh, there we go. So yeah, it was a batch size. So yeah, 10 minutes. I've been recording for 25. This is going to be too boring. So anyway, this was part 1 of getting my Artillery3D to work with accelerating drones. And I don't know if I'll record the rest or not. I mean, it's probably pretty boring for people to sit through all this. So we'll see how many people like, right? But yeah, I'll let this train, and I don't know if I'll record me working on it, but at least I'll record the results like I have been. This one's going to be shooting at like drones flying in circles because I didn't set the absolute value for X. And really what I could do is set the Vx basically constant and then have the Vy so that it's coming at us like this. But it's a good first little try, see if it can figure things out with the accelerating drone instead of the zero acceleration, constant velocity, and see how this turns out. So, Keith from Kinvert, hope it works. Hope you guys found this interesting, and watch for the result, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.